we're definitely getting the daddy hat for today's video. Okay. I'm just going to read this comment that I just got on my channel. And I also am going to talk about something else that I heard about recently. And again, this kind of piggybacks off of the recent videos that I've been making over the past day or so. Um, I just like, it's the morning here and I just saw this and I was like, okay, we're just gonna talk about this. So y'all are getting me with like my eye crusties, but there's no rest for the wicked. And so we're gonna just deal with some things first thing in the morning today, which is fine. We could do it. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with this comment. So this person wrote, thank you so much for this video. The timing is perfect. I've been manipulated, gaslighted, controlled, and emotionally abused by someone for almost a year. So many times it became so toxic. I couldn't do it anymore and cut them off last night, even though it hurts me and I'm still crying because everything reminds me of them. But I do deserve better, and this isn't the right way to treat someone you care about, making them cry to the morning repeatedly and then having the audacity to say, I'm here to support you, I'm trying to cheer you up. Like, whoa. So I just want to talk about this really quickly first before I even get into today's topic, which I know you guys can see the title of the video. When you're going through situations like this, you're going to experience a lot of emotions, right? When you decide to revalue yourself, when you decide to remove somebody from your life, especially if they have been playing a lot of like mental and emotional games with you, you're going to go through periods of confusion where like you're grounded in knowing that you deserve better, and then you slip back into like, well, maybe they're right, maybe I'm wrong. What about this moment? That moment was good. I just want to say that's totally normal. And so, the best word of advice that I can have for you if you're going through this is to focus on nervous system regulation, to surround yourself with very supportive people, and then really sit down and like write out a list, like, put this person on paper in terms of like things you liked about them, things you don't like about them, and just keep grounding yourself in the reality of the situation. Because when you're in situations like this, obviously there's going to be good moments with this person. You guys probably have spent, I don't know how this person didn't write how much time they spent with this person, but I'm sure there's probably so many memories that aren't bad, right? That are pleasant. And so it's really about giving your mind that focus of like, no, I've made the right decision, and here's the reasons why. So just know that you're going to go through a lot of emotions and you're just going to have to continually reground yourself in the decision that you've made, and you'll process it and you'll get to a place where you no longer feel bad. And again, just build up a daily routine to continue to bring the focus to yourself. Um, Regulate your nervous system and building healthy beliefs. Okay, so just so you can move forward and, not recreate anything like this. And when I say recreate, what I mean really is entertain something like this again. We're not going to take responsibility for somebody treating you that way, but I'm sure there's quite a few things that need to be adjusted in regards to, building beliefs surrounding boundaries, being able to hold people accountable, removing yourself from situations that are uncomfortable, um, really looking at relationships and defining the type of treatment that you're going to normalize, beliefs that you may hold about men or women, so that when you're in situations that are where somebody attempts to treat you like this, you can remain grounded in your identity and remove yourself, right? Instead of playing with it or giving somebody the opportunity to treat you in this way. Okay, because we really do show people what is acceptable. Um, and again, that's not to take ownership or accountability for somebody that does this to you. But if we're staying in situations like this for a period of time, then to me, that says some aspect of you has normalized this or like believes that you have to deal with it. And so we just want to make sure that that's smoothed away from a belief standpoint. So again, going forward, if anybody ever tries to approach you in this way again, you're able to remain grounded in knowing what you actually deserve and remove yourself before it gets to a point that is extremely painful. Um, I had another experience shared with me this week, and on my Instagram, Twitter and Instagram, I made a post, and the post said, some of you are confused because you're over here saying I'm chosen, and then you're waiting for somebody to choose you, right? And then you're wondering like, well, I'm telling myself I'm chosen. Why aren't they showing up for me properly? So I want to talk about this because when you take on a healthy belief system and when you decide you're somebody that gets the treatment that you deserve in different areas of your life, what that means is instead of waiting for somebody to choose you, you self-define that and then look at these people, places, and things and realize that they're lame for not showing up for you properly, right? Like you're lame for not choosing me properly. You're lame for not prioritizing me properly. You're lame for not honoring me properly. I'm deciding that those are the things that I deserve, and you're not giving that to me. So I'm no longer going to wait for this because I've already defined that these are things that I inherently deserve, which causes you to move forward and no longer perpetuate this dynamic. That gives this person the opportunity to rise up to the occasion to meet you where you are. But this has absolutely nothing to do with people outside of you. So when you're over here doing affirmations like, I know I deserve loving treatment, I deserve to be prioritized, I'm chosen within relationships, I get commitment. What that means is when people are not treating you that way, you're going to accept that. You're going to look at that and be like, wow, this is really lame that they're not actually committing to me. They're not actually prioritizing me. They're not actually choosing me. Like those are things that I know I deserve that I'm defining. And so now I'm going to move forward in that identity and stop waiting for this person to treat me in ways that I am now defining that I deserve for myself. That's independent of them. But again, when you organize yourself differently, you're going to see that you create the potential for a new dynamic because you set a new example. You show people, you really show people how they have to show up for you. With that all being said, okay, that's going to segue me into today's topic. And to go back to actually, before we get into today's topic, the reason why I brought up something that I heard earlier this week is because I've been also seeing situations where people are getting to know somebody, and originally the person says, like, yeah, I'm monogamous, I really want marriage, I really want a committed relationship. And then as the dating progresses, and I'm telling you, I've heard this multiple times now. Okay. This is not just a one-time thing. I've probably heard this like at least 6 or 7 times this month. Okay. So this is why we're talking about it. So they're getting to know somebody and the person is presenting as like monogamous and committed. And then as the dating continues, all of a sudden the person is like, you know what? Just kidding. I'm actually polyamorous and I want to be able to date multiple people. And this is no shade towards people that are polyamorous. Okay? You can live your life however you want. But the people that are in these situations that are dealing with this are not polyamorous. They want monogamy, commitment, right? And so when people are talking to me about this, the next thing that they do, or what I've been hearing they do, is they start to open up to the idea of polygamy. And as a coach, and I'm seeing, their history and their belief system, when people are in these situations, they have a history or a belief system augmented towards not receiving genuine commitment. So now they're being put into a situation where they're getting to know somebody where commitment is kind of dangled, and then all of a sudden it's polygamy. The decision to entertain polygamy is further reinforcing that belief that that person does not get genuine commitment. I want you to see how that could work, why you would bend, why you would sacrifice yourself or kind of bend on your boundaries to be like, okay, well, I really like them. So you know what? Maybe I could be open. No, no, you don't want a polyamorous relationship. And so these are the types of situations that you guys really need to discern very accurately because when you accept something that you don't want out of fear of loss, you're just confirming your deeper beliefs that you're trying to change. Somebody that knows they get genuine commitment, a monogamous relationship is going to say something like, wow, okay, it was really cool to get to know you, but I'm not open to polygamy. And so go do your thing. It was nice talking to you. And again, this gives the person the opportunity to adjust themselves and approach you differently. But what it's really looking like is some of you are entertaining people that have multiple men or women throwing themselves at them. And so they're used to people not having standards. And then the person that, is telling me about this is over here thinking like, well, they're going to change for me. So I'm just going to bend on this. And yeah, I'm going to entertain polygamy because eventually they're going to commit to me. And that's not how it's going to work. Just so you know. Okay. If they are accustomed to and attuned to people having absolutely no standards and throwing themselves at them, You following suit in that pattern is not going to make you different. And to be extremely honest, some of you really need to look at this like what I was just saying. Are you only entertaining this because it's confirming your deeper beliefs? Okay. Now, I've said on my channel, you can create what you want. People can change, but the way that that happens, some of you are not understanding. It's not because you're going to completely bend on your boundaries and disrespect yourself and accept things that you don't want. It's because you're going to be so self-respecting and willing to walk away and set an example that is so attractive that people are not used to dealing with. And so, because you're not easy, because you're able to say no, because you're not falling in line with their general pattern of people that are just throwing themselves at them, you give them the opportunity to approach you differently. And this is why people are able to create different dynamics. This is why some women can take a guy that is, and I don't encourage this, but like a guy that is not like, you know, has a history that isn't the best, but then all of a sudden for her, he is completely loyal and committed and changes up his behavior. I can guarantee you it's not because she's over here disrespecting herself and giving him everything that he wants. It's because she doesn't give a fuck. She will say, no, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm not just here to go along with your program. I'm an autonomous individual. And if you think you're going to use me, use my body, or treat me like I'm some disposable human being that you just get to access anytime you want, you're sadly mistaken. I'm not that one. And because they define themselves that way, the other person is like, oh shit, that's really hot that you respect yourself. I'm so over these people that don't respect themselves and easily throw themselves at me. Wow, I really like you. And they are then motivated to make changes by themselves because they don't want to lose this person that is respecting themselves and loving themselves properly. They rise up to the occasion. But again, what some of you are doing, you're not doing that. So you're getting into these situations where somebody is presenting something to you that you don't want, and you think, okay, I'm going to accept it because they're eventually going to change. And in that, you're completely disrespecting yourself and setting an example that it is okay to treat me as disposable. That's not going to work in the way that you want. I'm just going to be very objective with you. Okay. Now, the main point of today's video is you need to look at actions, not words. For instance, in this situation that I'm talking about regarding polygamy, okay, you had somebody that came in saying they want something monogamous, and then as you're getting to know them, they switch up and say, you know what, actually, I want something that's polyamorous. I don't care that they told you originally that they want something monogamous. Stop holding on to these ideations of these people and these moments where they have, nice moments where you have nice moments with them. Because what you guys are doing is you're getting something objective action-wise in your reality, and then you're like, well, they said this, they did this, so you know what, this isn't that bad. No, look at actions, not just words. Okay? Look at actions and then ask yourself, a version of me that knows X, Y, and Z about myself, that knows that they receive commitment, that knows what, and this isn't even just about relationships. This could be about money, career. You need to look at people's actions and adjust yourself accordingly. So if you're trying to give me polygamy and I'm somebody that has an identity that's normal for me to receive genuine commitment, the way I'm going to adjust myself is to reject this. I'm going to reject you. No, thank you. I don't want polygamy. Don't care if you don't like it. Goodbye. I'm not sitting here waiting for you, obsessing, negatively attached, or hoping that you're changing for me. Because in general, it's a normal experience for me to receive commitment. And when some of you are getting into these situations, like what this person wrote a comment about regarding like emotional manipulation and just like playing mental games, again, you want to really ground yourself in somebody's actions because, like that comment wrote, the person said at the end, after all this emotional turmoil, they come and say, well, I'm just here to support you. I really care about you. No, you don't, because if you did, you wouldn't be doing those things. And so some of you really need to sit down and get very objective with the actions and the ways that people are showing up, not just the idea of this person or the nice moments you've had with them, so that you can look at the actions, the actual actions that this person is doing, the behaviors that they have, and then think about yourself as an individual and the identity you're assuming, and whether or not how this person is showing up is matching the belief system and the identity that you're embodying or that you want to embody. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody can say anything, okay? It's in the moment, how are they actually showing up for you? And if they're not showing up for you properly, you need to acknowledge that and adjust yourself. Remove them if you need to, You need to think about the identity you're actually assuming and whether or not somebody that respects themselves, loves themselves, can uphold boundaries and knows that they can, has normalized getting what they deserve. Would they entertain this? Would they entertain this? If the answer is no, you need to adjust yourself. Is it going to hurt? Sure. Are you going to be sad? Sure. Are you going to be upset? Sure. Can you process that though? Yes. Can you handle that? Yes. What you can't handle is when somebody is playing in your face and then you're also playing in your own face because you're denying reality and you're not being honest with what's actually going on in front of you. So people can say anything, but you want to look at moments that really matter. Like when you're going through something emotionally, are they there supporting you? When you are achieving something, are they there celebrating you? Throughout the day, are they checking in with you? Are they sending you messages that they're thinking of you? Are they making actual plans with you? Are they actually talking about their friends and trying to integrate you into their life? What are their actual actions? Not just this, I love you, I care about you, I want to marry you, I want to be with you, you're the most beautiful thing ever. Those words are sweet, but I don't care about that anymore. You don't care about that anymore. What are they actually doing? And if they're not doing what you know you deserve, you need to adjust yourself. And I don't care what excuse they throw your way. Oh, I meant to do that. Oh, I was thinking about that. Okay, that's cool that you meant to do that. And it's cool that you were thinking about doing that, but you didn't do it. So now I'm going to adjust myself. And you know what? If you want to rise up to the occasion to treat me better, you have every opportunity to. In the meantime, I'm not waiting for anything. We're done waiting. Okay? I want you to get very objective with looking at people's actions and then making the necessary adjustments within yourself. Because we're done with this like emotional manipulation. We're done with this half-ass efforts. We're done with people that are using you, that are using your body. Like the polygamy thing is just insanity to me. How you could go on a date with somebody and tell them you want something monogamous, and then as they begin to develop feelings for you, all of a sudden now you're polygamous, like you want to have a polyamorous relationship. And some of you aren't thinking that that's a problem. That's a problem because let me tell you why that's a problem. This person presented themselves to you in one way, and then the moment you started to form a connection with you, they changed and said, actually, just kidding, that's not what I want. I want to be able to have my cake and eat it at the same time. And some of you are so enamored with people that you're like, oh, well, it's really not that bad. It is. It is because this person just lied to you. They told you they want something monogamous. And then as you got closer to them, now they're putting you into this polyamorous third party situation that's going to mess you up mentally and have you sitting over here thinking that you're going to try and compete for this person's love. You don't want polygamy. So why are you bending? Why are you accepting something that you don't want? And this is where you have to really look at yourself. This is where you have to really look at your belief system and your behaviors and how you're showing up and ask yourself, why am I accepting this? Why am I overlooking this like it's not a problem? Why am I just listening to what somebody is saying and not actually looking at their actions? Again, consistency is not a problem. Someone checking in with you is not a problem. You deserve somebody that plans dates with you, that integrates you into their life, introduces you to friends and family, and makes a consistent effort to make you feel seen, cared, and loved for. And if you're not getting that action-wise, that is a problem. And you need to adjust yourself. Anybody can say anything. You're done. You're done giving a fuck about what people are saying. All we care about is actions. How are you showing up? Are you showing up properly? Nope. Okay, I'm gonna adjust myself. Plenty of people here. I've got to wait for shit. Okay? And I'm not gonna put myself through that emotional turmoil. You thought and you thought wrong. All right? Okay.